Do you have anything to pass out? Good. We can do that.
Sure.
You know, we'll get this party started.
Yeah, sorry, you all, there was a lot of traffic.
I don't know how many
I
hundred
was
thousand.
not expecting that,
You
okay.
know, it's becoming a little gentry today too, which is crazy.
I was shocked. Okay, there's 4, and then 1 for Molly and Clark.
No.
Pass it down.
Why did they make space? Why did they build that station down on town?
And you are recording, Gary.
Yeah, okay, they just say. Well.
Hello.
Are we ready?
Both speaking.
Yes, it's recording.
Okay. We'll call the meeting to order for the
Well,
Harrison Fireman's
and-
Pension
1 for,
Fund. Clerk, if you'll call roll call, please.
Leon Borland,
Here.
Gilbert Neal,
Here.
Harry Sakanik,
Here.
Bill Hankins.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Our next order of business is that everybody have a chance to read through the minutes. So are there any corrections? Or accept the minutes as written?
I move we accept them.
We have a motion to accept. We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Our next order of business is to pay the parishioners for the next quarter. Do I have a motion?
I make the motion, we pay them. I second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next thing I guess we need to talk about is both myself and Bill term expires the 30th of 2026. And in the past, we have just opened up the anybody that wanted to run for a board member. If you remember in the past, and then we sent out ballots and we went from there. Does anybody have any problems with the way we've done it?
Sounds good.
Just fine.
Okay. Yes. Then I'll ask the
Have we got anybody that's expressed a desire to serve?
I don't, no one has come to me, but I don't know if people.
I sent an email out. Did y'all get that? That
I didn't.
if you are interested in running for either of the board positions, to email me by the 22nd of this month.
Did anybody else get that email?
I got it.
Somehow I don't know, it may come in my junk. I didn't get it in my regular email.
Anyway, that would be the ideal thing, is to have anyone who's interested in running for either of those positions to let me know by the 22nd of this month.
Okay,
Just
22nd of February.
Right.
yes. Then I will send ballots out. Probably will mail them. And we'll go from there.
Okay,
And then the results will be announced at that April board meeting,
all right.
because everybody is still good on the board until that next April, the April meeting.
Good. When did you send that email out?
I think it was last Thursday, I believe.
I'll dig through there and see if I can find it. Okay. Does anybody else have any other business we need to bring up before we turn it over to Carrie?
Yeah, I got a question. That, when we got divorced, Marilyn and I got divorced, she got half my pension.
Right.
Where does that pension go if I die or she dies?
That's a good question.
And she has it in.
If she dies it's over.
If Bill dies, I'd say it comes, the other half comes back to him.
Well, I don't know.
Because he's the owner of the,
I know, but by. We'd
No,
have,
it's not a widow situation.
no, yeah, it is,
So I think it would probably just stop.
yeah.
She won't get any longer because it's part of a divorce. It's
It's
not
part-
part of a.
You're part of your divorce decree.
Yeah.
That. I would think that just. She, you know,
Under-
it's just
part
not
of the
longer
divorce.
it,
Right.
and you would just continue on the way it is. I don't know. But I don't know that for a fact. I guess that's. I have read through the pigeon book, but that is never, I've never seen. Have you ever heard that by any chance?
Well, that's part of the divorce decree, right?
Yeah.
So it's really a matter of that, not a matter of for the pension. So whatever the divorce decree says.
That's what I'm thinking, but I didn't know if maybe, if, you know, all the different places you've been, if you've ever heard anything
Mm-mm.
similar.
I would, well, what I get now, Nancy get surviving widow.
Well, because it's, yeah, because Debbie still, because it's part of your divorce decree.
Yeah, she would get that, she'd get,
She just get what she's getting
what
now.
I'm getting now.
Yeah.
His widow's part of
Yeah,
it.
that's the way I look, because like I said, it's all part of that, your also divorce decree. So that's,
That's kind of what I thought, but I want.
I mean, if. You know, if you can find, you know, you talk to a lawyer or something,
I'll talk to her.
and if you could bring us precedents of some kind that shows. Where somebody's like taking that to court and show something different, you know, you could bring it before the, you know, the board. But the way I look at it is since it's part of your divorce decree, I don't know that we can change that. But I don't know that for a fact. I'm not, you know, I'm not an attorney and
well, you don't know exactly all the wording in that,
good, that's the other thing.
and it's kind of like social security. Whenever I pass away, my wife gets
Yeah,
half.
but the
of
thing about
Social
it,
Security and back and forth.
But you're married.
Yeah.
See, this, you've got another legal document in between the two.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
you know, it's different, you know, than how, you know, it's a divorce court. I can't give you a definite answer because I don't know.
I just think.
Well, the questions never come up.
Well, yeah, and that's why I was asking Carrie, if she ever heard of something like that ever coming up. So,
It just depends on the divorce decree.
yeah, I mean, you know, and it.
I'll start research on. that.
Yeah, if you could find something and if there's any precedent somewhere that shows, you know, one way or the other,
Okay.
I mean, and bring it before the board, you
Yeah,
know.
I'll talk to our lawyers about
Because, well, the way I look at it is, you know, if you were entitled to it,
it, yeah.
you know, it's not anymore, you know, we're already paying that money out, so. But I wouldn't have a problem there, but I don't know that we can. That's my problem.
And I sent that email out last Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I'll look-
on the
I'll-
6th.
Glad I don't have it.
Anybody, you guys think of it?
Nope. I'm good.
All righty, nobody else has any other business that we need to bring before the board. I'll turn it over to Ms. Carr. Let her do her thing.
Okay, right, thank you all. Right, we passed out the reports and same format that we normally have. You can always reach me if you have any changes to your bank account or if you want to come see me in Little Rock. Do that. Okay, then this next page is, we all like to look at it, how do we do for a time period? Top left, we're looking at all of 2025. So slide all the way to the right. Started last year with $4,498,328 change. then net distribution would be that 198,875. The account appreciated over $530,000, income of over $105,000. There's my management fee. Then ending the year at $4,889,688. That's a lot. That's very good.
Yeah.
And that, yes, that's an investment gain in dollars of over $590,000. And look at these nice percentages. I think this might be the highest we've seen in a while. Since inception, you've achieved an let's call it 8.5% return each year, looking back since we started. And in the last 12 months, 13.4. And this is net of fees. And then I checked out what we're at today. So this was at the end of last year. We're at 4.92 now. So we're higher.
Yeah.
Markets have been good. I know y'all have been watching them as well. Okay, so very good. We've gotten 8.5% each year. 8.5%.
That's real good.
Very good. Okay, then these next pages are the statement pages that we're used to. Bottom right, there's the numbers I just went over. Started at 4.49, ending at 4.88. You can see the deposits, withdrawals, dividends. Okay. Next page, page 2. You know, your fund is almost all mutual funds and then some cash that we need for your monthly payments. So there's those two top numbers. You have about 230 in cash, 230,000 in cash. Then those are your top holdings right under there. And then far right, you would like to see what your dividends and capital gains were through the year, over $437,000. Really good, just for holding the securities that you have. Very good, and we'll look at those. Okay, page 3. There's the cash that we have built up, 230,000 and a little over. Bottom of page 3 starts listing your positions. First is Franklin Convertible. Slide to the middle, that's your largest position, $1.714 million. Slide all the way to the right, that's 35% of your total. Then you have your floating rate. That's 6% of your total. Your strategic income, 6%. Your equity income or value manager, 16%. And lastly, your international manager, MFS, 8%. And flip page 4, 2 more. We have your preferreds. Slide over to the very right. That's 8% of your total. And then last, your growth manager, T. Rowe Price, $802,000 and 16%. I'm going to put something on here that, we wanted to investigate. So look at my circle there. We're on page 4. My circle there in the top right area. So that's the cost basis currently, when at the end of last year, 4.767 million. Then below that, hand wrote what the cost basis was the end of the year before. And look at the difference. That was only 3.822 million. So what I did was I captured the gains. And look at that, that's, that's almost $1 million that I captured, so that, I want that to help us with the funded percent when we get our new actuarial valuation. Remember, we want to look at having a raise this year, or we're applying for one.
Any way we could add another line item on those? I'd like to kind of know on some of these, how many years they've been.
I can't do it on the statement. It would have to be something individual, the lots. But yes, we've had these funds, some of them back to 08, 09, 10. Mm-hmm. And the reason that you're seeing, some negative numbers in the gains is because I took them all. In other words, I sold it and then repurchased. So we've, at the beginning of the year, we had a little, some dips, but, I did capture, almost $900,000. That makes your cost basis at the higher level. And we'll look at the very last page of our booklet, but remember, we wanted our funded percent to go up so that we can have the threshold to ask for an increase. So that's why I did that. So that's a very good, took us up a lot. Okay, then the bottom of page 4, I highlighted some of the capital gains that hit in December. We always like to see those. There's some large numbers. Capital gains hit in December for your funds, and I'd just like to show you what hit. Okay, page 5. I highlighted some more gains, and then I circled there on the far right a deposit, millage deposit. Then I wanted to show you what it looked like. This is page 5 also. There's where I did the sales there on the left. I sold your equity focused funds and rebought them. Then also on page 5, that starts listing, all of your monthly payments. And then that finishes up on page 6. Page 6 finishes up the payments that go out. And you're paying out about $39,000 a month. Then the bottom of page 6 on the left, I just showed you where I repurchased. Any thoughts about those pages? We haven't had any changes in 2025 of anybody passing. I don't think so either. Okay. All right, well, let's keep going in our packet, and then we'll finish up with looking at our projection for what our actuarial valuation is going to tell us. All right, so we'll turn to these pages. I know you guys like to look at these funds with me. This first page is your floating rate fund. That's your short-term bond fund, shortest term bond fund. We like it for the income it provides. So top right, you have about 6% here. It's a fairly small percentage. And then the yield on this, we like, it's we're getting about 7.8% in yield. And just for 20 years now, we have been everyone in the investment community has been searching for yield. And so that's why we have to use all these different tools, different types of income funds to find, certain amounts of yield, higher ones than, say, we could get with a CD, for example. So that is quite a bit higher than a CD. These are not CDs. These are bank loans that are securitized. Look under your circle chart. These are almost all bonds, some cash. And then under your bar chart, you can see for the 10-year, we're almost 5% a year. And we've had it that long. And then for the 1-year number, over a little over 5%. Okay, so we like this fund for that income, that 7.8%. Okay, next page is another income fund. This one is your strategic income. Also, we have 6% here. Its yield is a bit lower than the first one. It's right at 5%. Look under your circle chart, mainly US and foreign bonds, some cash. You can see the 10 years about 4.7 under your chart, bar chart, and then your 1-year on this one. Last 12 months, we've gotten 7.6%, which is good. And then bottom right, those are the holdings, the top 10 holdings. You can see mainly treasuries and mortgage backs. And this fund does have some corporates too. So fairly middle of the road, plain vanilla fund. We have these sleeves of income fund just to try to get us the most we can without having everything in one type. All right, next page is your preferreds. We've had this one a long time, back to 08. So we have about 8% here. Then the yield on this is about 5.6. A pretty good yield. I know you guys probably watch CD rates at your local bank. It's hard to even get 4 now. So, and these are not CDs, of course, but I'm just trying to illustrate that we're just in search of something higher than CD rates. And we're getting it in these funds that we're just going over. The 10-year number on this, we've gotten 4.5 each year, the last 10 years. And then the 1 year is quite nice. It's 7.8 over the last 12 months. That is mirror. Then bottom right, these are the top 10 positions. So these are financial companies that issue preferreds. And you can see next to each of those names, the yield for each one. For example, Barclays is 9.6. And then as if you were to average them all out, the yield on it would be that top number that I wrote in there, which is the 5.6. Okay, so that one we've had a long time. We like that one for its yield income. Oh, okay. Next page, this is your convertible fund. Also, we've had this 10 years or more. This is your largest position, about 35%. So convertibles are their own asset type, and they have traits of stock and bond traits. We have an interest rate function here. Slide down the right-hand side of the page. You can see the sectors represented are mainly utilities and technology. Keep sliding. Those are the top 10. These are software-based companies. High growth, software-based, internet-based companies. And we know that in today's world, these companies are considered utilities. The software is a utility. So you'll recognize some of those names there at the bottom right. And when we look at these averages under your bar chart for the last 10 years, each year we've gotten over 12%. And then this last 12 months, we've gotten almost 14%. So we're trying to capture the high growth nature of these businesses. They're the top 10, they're on the bottom right. Okay, next is just a couple more with me. We have 3 more. This is your international manager, about 8% here. So these are foreign companies. Slide down the right-hand side of the page. You can see the sectors are mainly Europe, Asia developed, Japan, UK, which we might expect those are the most developed of the regions in the globe. Then, we talked about this before, but 2025, really the story was the international outperformed. Look at that 1-year number under your bar chart. Almost 28% in the last 12 months. And that is because, a lot of investors think that the US markets are overvalued, and they are.
Yeah.
So they go to find, value and somewhere else and they go to international companies. The 10-year number on this, has gotten higher because of that. So we've gotten over 9% a year here. And you see my line right below your bar chart, the line straight across. I just wanted to show you that, this is the highest year we've seen here in 5 years, in 2025. Also, the weak dollar also helps international funds too. So several reasons, and I'm glad we have some funds here. Okay, then just a couple more with me. This is your value manager, and value just means dividend. JP Morgan is the family name. You have about 16% here, US stocks that pay a dividend. Slide down the right-hand side of the page, mainly financial, healthcare, industrials, technology. And you can see the top 10 bottom right. You'll recognize those names. So about 23% of the total is in this top 10 list. Alphabet is the mother of Google. You'll see, you recognize those names. Then under your bar chart, nice averages here. 10-year average is over 10% a year. And then the 1 year is 14.6. Yeah, big companies. So this is the best year since 2021. If you look at the middle of the page. Then just one more. This is your growth manager. T. Rowe Price is the family name. Far right, 16% is here. These are US companies that don't pay a dividend. Far right, mainly technology, communications, healthcare, consumer, cyclical. Then keep sliding down far right, bottom. You'll recognize these names. Meta is the mother of Facebook, Alphabet, mother of Google. NVIDIA, of course, you all know that, the microchips. Apple. So these are growth companies so they're not paying a dividend. They're just putting their profits back in. Look at under your bar chart over 10-year, we've gotten 17% a year, and we've had this that long. And then the 1 year, we've gotten 17.6. And really, if you look at the bottom chart in the middle of the page, this is actually one of the lower years. Okay. All right. Well, those are my Morningstar pages. And, just keeping in mind, we've gotten 8.5% each year. So we're happy about that. But let's take a look at this last page. This is from 2024. This is the page from your actuarial valuation that tells us some info needed to tell the health of the plan. So I have 4 numbers circled. Look at the top one, that's your funded percent. And so that number needs to be 97% in order to be considered fully funded. And so when I did harvest the gains, I did some algebra and I think that number for your 2025 actuarial valuation is going to be at least 90.7. Yeah. That's what now, the thing that is the unknowable is, your mortality. I don't know how they figure mortality from the mortality tables for you guys for 1 year. So that's the variable. So, and remember that rule, there's always a new rule that they're passing, PRB, that is, remember they want you to be 90% to ask for an increase. Remember, I told you that a couple of meetings ago. So we are going to be on the borderline. So hopefully we'll be that 90, and we won't know that until May when the new AVs come out. So as soon as we see that number, we can plan to send documents for the request. But what we can do today is just put in language into our minutes that we want to ask for a raise today. And then if our number shows that and the actuary agrees with what we want, then we can have it retroactive to February 1st. Sorry, today's March 1st. So it would have to be, so it'd be the month after our meeting. So, as a review, you all got your last benefit increase in 2022. You asked for 95% of your final pay and you got 90, which is good. So, so I would suggest asking for another 5%. Maybe even 10. So here's, and I'm happy to help. It's Mike, right? The clerk. Clerk is Mike. The clerk's name? James, I'm sorry. I had you as Mike White. I'm sorry. James, I'll help James with the language of the minutes. But what I'm gonna do is, now that I taken the gains and I see that I think we're at the threshold, I'm gonna be talking to the actuary in Little Rock and just asking him what his number, what he thinks, if we should do 5 or 10. And then when we go to,
So if, let me
Mhm.
just interrupt you for a minute. If we say, we make a motion, we want to do 10%
Mhm.
as of this day,
Yeah,
but we only get 5%,
we can change it in,
we
Yeah.
can, but it'll still be retroactive to this day.
we can put a retroactive date, but it needs to be the first of the next month. So retroactive to March 1st.
But I mean, if we could go above, but if we don't get it, still be retroactive to the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
at the lower amount.
And
We don't have to hit the amount in our vote.
Right. In our vote, we're just gonna, let's just say 10%, and then I'm gonna talk to the actuary, and then, we always word our requests to be the next 1% lower if that's not available.
So. We need to make a motion.
Let's just make a motion for 10%.
10%,
Of-
and then when we find out what the actuaries in thinking.
I know him, I can, no, I can go to him anytime, but when we see this actuarial valuation come out for 2025, it'll come out in May. But I'm gonna ask him before that, because yeah. Cause he would, he would know, but so, and the reason that we need a time frame is they won't let us submit a request until we see that actuarial valuation in May. But then they give us a back end time limit of, everything has to be paid for, turned in, paid for by September 30th.
All right, well then, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we go from 90% of pay
To 100,
uh,
to 100.
to 100%, which would be a 10% increase. Do I hear a second to that motion?
Second.
I second that motion.
Any discussion, other comments from anybody? Anybody have any questions or anything?
Maybe we're gonna try.
Yeah.
All those in favor of the motion, say aye, please.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion will carry.
Okay.
Dave, did you get that?
I had said those so sorry.
It's okay, James.
Yes,
James.
That's what Carrie said. She was going to help me with minutes, and we can do that like tomorrow or the
Yeah.
next day, something like that.
We have plenty of time. So just keep in mind, though, we did ask for this 10%, but remember, we may have to go lower. It might be 5, but we'll start
We
10.
got it on the record
Mhm.
where whatever we do get,
Mhm.
it'll be back to March the 1st.
Right.
Instead of waiting to get it and then not getting it
Right.
in between. So we've taken care of that.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
And I think this is, a good time to do this. It's been 4 years since your last one, so. And, we knew we had a positive, good year last year in the market, so. Let's try it this year.
I mean, the other advantage, we
Yeah.
got our millage is permanent now.
Yeah.
That's gonna have a little bit of.
Yeah, right,
And on a
Right.
regular income.
right. So because you guys do have a millage, we can use that with the method that we're gonna ask for them to use to calculate. We're gonna ask them to use the alternate cash flow method so that we can use that cash, the millage cash, as part. So it's just gonna be a lot of paperwork, and James, it'd be new to you, but I'll help you. I'll help you.
I would appreciate that.
Yes, yes. Yes. That's part of my help to you.
Do you have anything else?
Um, Let me look. Oh, well. So your cash is about I'm looking at it now. You have about 210 in cash. And you're paying out 40 a month, say. So, I think I think if you would like to, we could invest 100,000 of your cash. So your equity exposure right now is 57.5. And if we invested 10%, sorry, 100,000, it'd be about 2%. And so would you like to go up a bit more on your equity side? You all have always been a little bit higher than moderately placed in your equity exposure. So, like I said, you're about 57.5. Would you be comfortable with going up 2% in your equity exposure?
The only thing I always look at is paying out to parishioners
Mhm.
that we don't have to sell something
Right,
to get to there.
right.
Not unless it's something that's not doing well. I have no problems with selling stuff that doesn't
Yeah.
do well, but
Mhm.
that'd be the only thing I'd be kind of looking at.
Yeah. So like I said, we have about 210 in cash. Let's invest 90 of that. And that way we have about 3 months on hand. And then, because you guys get dividends every month, so,
And do you have
in your millage.
something in particular you're looking at, the 90, you're gonna split it into
Yeah.
things, or what are you looking at?
I think what I'll do, I'll add it to the equity side. Well, maybe I'll give another point to your value and another point to your growth manager.
So we're paid to get it in.
Pages 3 and 4. Or I might add to your international. It would actually, it wouldn't be quite 2%, it'd be almost 2%. So just give me the latitude just to add it to, yeah,
That's what we pay you for.
yeah,
We trust you.
okay, good.
Yeah, just,
Mhm.
that, nobody has the crystal ball.
Right.
But you can kind of look to see what,
Right. And again, it's, almost, it's not even 2%, but I just want your money to be working for you
right.
and not, because we only need about 120 for your payments for 3 months.
We have dividends. So.
Dividends coming and then your millage.
I'll make a motion that we transfer 90,000 out of our cash
Uh-huh.
to be invested as the portfolio manager suggests.
Well, let's go ahead and say to the equity section of our portfolio.
At 90% or 90,000.
Right. Mhm.
Anybody got any discussion about that? All those in favor say aye. Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a second.
Second. And then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Okay.
All right, then.
It's all right.
Again, and also again, yeah, I know we're making these plans for this benefit increase, but 90, I came up with 90.7, and so we are right on the edge. So I hope that the mortality table is in our favor. But so just letting you know, we really are on the edge for the threshold because they want us to be 90% to ask. So yeah, just if I want us to do it this year, but again, it has to show 90. So we'll be waiting in May for the actuarial valuation. That's all I have. Molly, did you want to talk about this?
Yeah, Molly's got
That's really, I love that picture.
does James, that microphone over there work?
It should.
Okay.
So I have started a nonprofit. We're got all the paperwork done, 501(c)(3). It's called Friends of Harrison Fire Department. And our mission, I have my notes here because our mission is to focus on projects that will support the safety, health, and training needs of our firefighters. So safety, health, that includes some cancer screenings and things. Support public education efforts towards fire prevention, suppression, and emergency preparedness. And preserve the history of personnel and equipment through restoration and remembrance initiatives. So our first project is the restoration of the 1934 American LaFrance pumper truck. And so you guys are the first ones to receive this flyer. They're hot off the press to start taking donations. Linda DeWald and her dad, Joe DeWald, are going to kind of lead that fire truck restoration. I told them I'd do the paperwork if they could do the sanding and parts and all that stuff.
What year is it?
the nineteen
Oh
34.
my gosh.
It's Harrison's first fire truck.
Huh.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, no, it's not at first. We had some before,
Okay,
but as far as more of a modern fire truck, yes, I agree, that's probably the first one we had. We
okay,
had some what they called hose trucks,
okay,
and basically they just run off of main pressure off the water mains, and it was the first truck that was actually a pumper truck.
yeah, okay.
What's the name of this one again?
Did you get a flyer?
Yeah, I did, but I don't see the name on
It's
it.
on the left-hand side.
Oh, La France, okay.
Um, so the Harrison Fire Department was established in 1910. This 1934 American LaFrance pumper, it is in sad shape, but it is back in Station 1. It's housed there, sitting there. That's kind of where we'll do our work
That's
on
cool.
it. We need all the things. We're looking for people that can volunteer to, or even just knowledgeable people that we can hire for all the things, painting and chrome and we're starting from the ground up, but it is in Station 1. We had some discussion about Station 1 earlier. Station 1 belongs to the city. There are, I think, plans to lease it out to another nonprofit, the American Freightways group. They want to put in a museum. They
Oh,
want to store Sheridan Garrison's first semi cab truck in that museum. But they have said that they want to keep a fire presence. And so we're going to have kind of the back half of the station where the truck is sitting now. And then the upstairs will be the fire departments. I mean, it still remains with the city. This fire truck is going to be city property. So we are working alongside the city and the fire department. They'll be putting funds into it as well. I just want the fire department to use their money for paychecks. The firemen need to be paid well and equipment to keep them safe. Like I want us to be a conduit to the community that loves the firemen, that will support projects that we bring to them, the knowledge to them that, whether it's active duty, retirees, equipment, restoration, that, people would give to help support that. So.
that's
Uh,
great.
Spread the word. My phone number's at the bottom. I see it kind of got cut off in the printing. I'll have to fix that. We're all fancy. If you scan this code, it goes to an online donation called Zephy. It's real easy. We also have a bank account at Signature Bank, or checks, however we need. But again, if you guys think of experts in restoration or parts, let us know, because we need the knowledge and we're doing the research. Mark, Chief Lowry told me, find us a good chrome place. I'm like, okay.
That's really cool, Molly.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
excited.
thank you, Mom.
That's
Yeah.
really, really neat.
This is kind of our first project. I'd like to do some other things, like I mentioned, cancer screening is important to me. Mental health is important too. However we can support, supplement the active duty and retirees, and whatever it is that comes up, so.
So this will be a part of the museum.
Yes, this will be in the, remain in Station 1. Once it's restored, that's where it'll live. Parades,
Okay,
ceremonies, funerals, parades, whatever.
okay.
Good fun stuff too, kids. We'll see. I don't know. I talked to Jeremy Sansing about because there'll be a little bit of a remodel on Station 1, that front part of the bay for American Freightways, but there's been no progress. I think they're still getting established as well, so, yeah. It's kind of exciting, the museum. The mayor talked to me too about kind of having some museum in the back half of our portion. I know, John Morgan, one of the inspectors, he's kind of a history buff. He's been trying to pull together all the fire chiefs' pictures, a picture of each fire chief. And that's been kind of challenging. So there's a lot going on that is good. It'll be slow, but it's good.
Well, appreciate all.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Thank you.
It's a lot of time and work.
Yeah. One other thing I'd like to kind of say is change the vote for the sales tax. The public safety one, is it half? So then quarter or half?
There is
Well, I know there's
there's a 1/4% that goes to the general fund and police and fire.
Okay.
So that's that one. The other one is 0.5% for infrastructure.
Okay, but the quarter, I remember, with Molly standing, me and Jim, my gosh, I don't know how many different places that we went to when we originally got that and talked to people.
That was in 2002.
Yeah, it was a long.
Is
time.
when
I mean,
that one was first
we talked to
passed.
everybody and his brother. And I can honestly say, granted, I'm retired and everything now, but I can honestly say because of that, how it has helped the fire department, it has helped the guys with the equipment, it's helped with safety, the guys that are sitting here right now, I know of five or six people that have died of cancer. That we worked with, and the health issues that they're really dealing with that. And I don't know how many people actually see this forum, but I would strongly suggest people vote for that. It doesn't raise anything, and it has been money over the years that has been honestly and spent well.
It does not raise taxes at
Yeah.
all.
No, it just stays, it just keeps it like it is.
It will stay exactly
Yeah.
the way it is. The only difference is that it will not have a sunset clause.
I was
And
gonna say,
I
all it
can't-
does is extend.
And extend is kind of a term of art that can't really use because it's not extending a tax. It is the
Not
tax,
taking it off.
but it just will not come off of the books
and I can't think of something
every 8
that's,
years.
helped the fire department more over the years and having that money to be able to buy safety equipment. For the fire department.
And the one that voters approved in 2014, that's the one that had really helped with equipment because it's 0.5% split between the police department and the fire department, with 30% of revenue going into a fund for new equipment, and that helped a lot too.
So,
But these two are vital.
yeah. So, does anybody else have anything?
So the next meeting date would be April, the fourth Tuesday is the 28th, April 28th. April 28th, April 28th at 11. What was it?
Yeah, 25th.
25th anniversary?
Just celebrating 52.
Oh, wow.
Like we're all, that's fine.
Well, does anybody else have
Mhm.
any other business? Leon? Nope. Leon, good?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, I hear a motion to adjourn.
I'll second
Second,
it. I'll second.
all those in favor say aye.
That was in 28.
All those opposed, same sign. Get up and leave.